crisis in Chinese, 危机, literally means danger, opportunity.
Hey, 90s kids, you remember how everyone was telling us if it says made in China, it's a crap product? Well, China just allowed them to counterfeit American IP because of all the shit America's trying to pull right now. So, not only are they better at manufacturing than us, they now have all of our designs. I love this. This is so fun. I love economic warfare.
If you're one of those people that just doesn't care about Trump's tariffs or doesn't think it's a big deal, now's the time to freak out. You see, China just made a huge move. They just legalized counterfeiting American products. So, if you go to Walmart and you buy a spatula or, you get a computer, a vacuum cleaner, or even an iPhone, it was designed here in America and sent to China to be made inexpensively. Well, now China decided we don't care. We're going to make the phones, we're going to make the computers, we're going to make the vacuum cleaners, and we're going to sell them direct and completely cut out America. So because of the tariffs, China will be making these products and selling them for nothing all over the world. American companies will not get paid. The world will get a bunch of cheap Chinese products. China will benefit. Everybody will benefit. And America will go broke. So please, stop making excuses for this guy and start caring about your families. This is a very dangerous time we're in right now. And the only thing that's going to stop it is people like you and me calling our congressmen and the people that represent us and telling them, stop this now.
Okay, shit just got real, y'all. China just said, you heard us with the so we copying everything y'all make. We're talking iPhones, Dyson vacuums, Microsoft. Anything American made or designed is now fair game for China to copy one for one. They're basically saying, forget patents, forget copyrights. If it's American, we're cloning it and we're selling it for cheaper. So your little $1,200 iPhone, China's about to drop that bitch for $300. Same features, same design, zero license fees. This is literally a nuclear level move on American intellectual property, y'all. And it's not just talk. They have the manufacturing power to actually do it. But here's the crazy part. They don't even need to make knockoffs anymore. No cheap ass bullshit, y'all. Just your product and your profit. If you thought tariffs were the big issue, nah. This right here, this could crash the value of American tech and design worldwide. China just flipped the script, y'all. And if the U.S. doesn't quickly respond, we might be watching the beginning of a global IP war.
An American Gucci bag that costs $3,000, China can make the exact same thing and sell it for $200. Everything America can make, China can steal that intellectual property, make the exact same thing, and sell it for pennies on the dollar.
China's about to go nuclear on American intellectual property, and they are not messing around.
TikTok, why is your government cooler than you? They're going against Trump. They're going against the United States. Why are you still, doing all this shit, huh? Okay. We know what you're doing. We know that you're desperate and you want to keep TikTok going in the United States, but your government doesn't care. They're just like, fuck. You don't need the United States, baby. You don't. The rest of the world is figuring that out. We don't need the U.S. Why haven't you figured that out? Just get rid of the Americans. People can have VPNs or whatever and, work around shit. Just toss them. You don't need them. You do not need the Trump administration, okay? There are so many better offers out there, baby. So many other countries that'll treat you right. We got global TikTok. We got Commonwealth TikTok. Canadians, we're willing to treat you right. Just open up the creator funds, maybe, for some other countries, and we could talk. We're willing to spend more money on advertising on here, boost those posts, anything that you need. We're willing to do if you just caring about Trump and the administration over there. Be like your government. You know? Because you used to be cool, TikTok. You used to be cool. Now we have to watch every little word we say around you. You're glitching out. I mean, I thought we had something good going here. Today you're after me. You're after all my friends. Like I said, man, what happened? You used to be cool.
China, it's so big. If you're importing... Oh, yes. Hello, my friend. Oh, right. Yes, your container is loading today. Let me check. Today we're loading electronic deep fryer and grinder and also the multifunctional water dispenser that you ordered. What? Why don't you want the container anymore? You already paid the deposit. I understand. Yes, the tariffs, but let me see what I can do, okay? The sales from Winning Star is right here. Let me ask her. So, the American client just called me and he said he doesn't want the container anymore because of the new tariff. Is there anything we could do for them?
Don't worry. If you confirm this order now, we will give you one container extra for free.
Did you hear that? If you confirm this container now, they're actually gonna give you one container X for free. Yeah. I mean, that's why we chose Winning Star from the beginning, right? Because of their style. They want you to win together with them. Totally. Yes. Okay. I'll be waiting for your payment this afternoon. Are you guys going to Canton Fair?
Yes, of course. From 17th to 19th April.
Okay, great. Send me the booth number later and I'll send it to him, okay?
So you mean when you buy things from China, Chinese people should pay you money for buying stuff? What? What? I would understand if you want a discount, but what do you mean we have to pay you for you to buy things from us? That's crazy.
I think a lot of you guys are about to find out exactly how replaceable the United States is, because arguably the only American export that cannot actually be replaced by another country, technically, is American culture via American media, and that's already been happening. As someone who works in the film industry, or worked, because at this rate, I don't know that I ever will again, the film industry moving overseas is a harbinger for what is to come, and not necessarily in the sense of like, oh, they're moving the jobs overseas. No. This is a lot bigger than that. So despite what you may think, and despite the metrics saying that it's crude oil, I would argue that media and entertainment is actually America's biggest export. The global media and entertainment industry is worth around $2.8 trillion. This doesn't just include movies, it's also TV, broadcasting, radio, books, video games, all sorts of stuff. But the US, while it's not a leader in all of these sectors, it is definitely a leader in film and TV and advertising. And in total, the US's share of the media and entertainment industry is around $649 billion. The thing is, the media and entertainment industry isn't just good for the US because it brings in a lot of money, it's also doing a lot of the heavy lifting for how the US is able to maintain its power globally. Because if you provide the entertainment for people, then you control the message. It helps to export and normalize this whole narrative about the American dream, the American way of life, the American culture, and it helps maintain the illusion of America. And as a result, people want more of it, right? So American media helps propagate this idea of America, which makes America quite fascinating. It's essentially like this self-fulfilling cycle. And belief in the US ultimately sustains everything that it has going on for itself. Because again, the US doesn't create anything that another country can't create. Even the big, like, innovative ideas, right? 2/3 of Silicon Valley is foreign. As you may know, the film industry has had a rough few years, but now in the film industry, a lot of jobs are going overseas. US production was down 40% in the second quarter of 2024 compared to its 2022 peak, but it was only down 20% in the rest of the world. Netflix and Amazon account for 53% of original streaming content production, and around 70% of those shows and movies are non-US productions. They've also been reducing English content acquisitions while increasing non-English content acquisitions. In part, yes, it's because labor and costs are higher in the US than elsewhere, and soon about to be much higher. But the bigger issue is that they're realizing that media doesn't have to be American anymore. It's only going to get worse now that no one likes America, and we've shattered the whole American dream illusion. Turns out, just about everyone else in the world is pretty good at ingesting media that was not created in their country or culture. because they've always done it, while Americans are pretty bad at it. And this is in large part a result of the US exporting so much media. I grew up in Spain, and most of the media we consumed was American media. As a result, I and many other people in Spain are very, very comfortable watching things that are dubbed and subtitled. Most countries, you dub or subtitle something. In the US, you make a US version remake. The one benefit the US always had with Hollywood and entertainment and whatnot is that American culture thing. But now, with shows like Casa de Papel or Money Heist and Squid Game, companies like Netflix are figuring out that they can make very, very successful shows that are not American media, and the rest of the world will eat it up. This is not just about jobs lost. The real issue is that the US's power entirely comes from its ability to create a need for itself. Just like with the military, right? They whine about over-reliance on the US military. That's by design. We made it so that other countries would rely on us for something because the reliance is our power. Same with the dollar standard. It is artificial need and exported desire. And that makes everything else possible. It's why people invest in America. It's why smart and talented people move to America. It's why people buy American products. The only irreplaceable part of America is the illusion that we have shattered.
The United States is 15% of China's export market. So what Trump is proposing is now a retaliatory 50% additional tariff. So that brings the tariffs on Chinese goods to approximately 100%. And is China going to back down from their 34% tariffs? What does the situation look like from their point of view? From their point of view, the United States is removing itself from the international order. It is blowing up our alliances. It is isolating itself. China also produces 90% of the world's rare earth metals that are essential for all high-tech engineering. China could easily shut off rare earth exports to the United States entirely. They're already saying they're going to restrict the sale. China could be making the calculation that they're going to trade with friendly countries and set up a free trade regime that is excluding the United States. The impact on U.S. technology and economic dominance in the world would be quite large. Trump does not seem to care about this, and I suspect he may just push forward with this to the maximum extent. This would be absolutely catastrophic for the United States economy. China would then be establishing its dominance over the entire globe. So essentially what Trump is doing is removing the United States from the center of global trade and potentially just handing over world dominance to China.
Trump wants people to buy American cars. In order to buy American cars, sir, we need money. We ain't got none. Like, I'll buy an American car, sir. I'll be one of those douchey people that drive a Dodge, but still, I need money for that.
Do you know why the Chinese car companies, the electric cars specifically, are just dominating the world? And some people say it's, country subsidy and things like that. Well, that's true. Every country does that. US does it just as much. Except when US car company get money from the government, you know what they do? They do stock buyback. So they don't research or develop and train its employees to be better and develop better products. So you do a couple decades of that, here we are. It's unfortunate because I have a passion for cars and I love American cars. And it's sad to see it dying.
Being self-sufficient might not be the best solution for a country as you think. I think human society's development depends on working with each other rather than everyone being self-sufficient and don't trade at all. US being the biggest economy in the world, it's usually other country depending on them, not the other way around. That's why Trump's blanket tariff has caused the stock market around the world tanking. Also, US being self-sufficient will close itself from the world. It's not like US has never been self-sufficient. They used to have manufacturing businesses, industries within their country. It disappeared for a reason. Because they found better ways to grow their economy. Even China doesn't want to be the factory of the world. It's depleting our natural resources. It's also polluting our environment, making a lot of people getting cancer. Also, there are natural resources that just doesn't exist in the US. They cannot produce those things. Also, I'm not sure why you think dropshipping needs to end. A lot of small business depends on dropshipping business model. They don't have the capital to have the stock and manage it locally. If you're just referring to the low quality products, I'm sorry, if there's a demand for low quality product in the market, they're always gonna find a way to be there.
Do you remember that years ago, Foxconn, the factory that make iPhone in China, has to put up safety net in the buildings so that workers will not jump to their death? One could not help but wonder if they know they are taking American jobs, would they do differently? Do you remember that years ago in Wisconsin, a Foxconn factory was trying to be built without success? Knowing all that you know, do you still think it's possible a factory like Foxconn can be built in the United States? Here is, well, a little piece of ancient Chinese wisdom come in handy. Christ in Chinese, Wēijī, literally means danger, opportunity. So danger and opportunity are always within crisis. But some people might say, how do we extract the opportunity out of the crisis? That is when you don't understand the wisdom, okay? So it's not about analyze and extract. It's about recognize they are always together. There's no way to extract it out. Assuming that you can extract opportunity out will lead you to action. Recognize that there's no way to extract opportunity out will lead you to inaction. But sometimes inaction is the best action. That is ancient Chinese wisdom.
At this point, do we choose to believe the Chinese ancient wisdom, or what do we do? If for them crisis mean danger, opportunity, then let's see what opportunity could be unfolding from this dangerous move. Let's say dangerous because it's going to affect the lives of so many people, and there are so many people who are already losing their jobs. There are people who don't know what's the way forward. I genuinely want to hear your thought on this. I really want to hear. I want us to have a great time in the comment section. Let's interact. I really want to hear from different perspectives from different people. This video kind of had one perspective to the problem, but yeah, you know, there are also people who are uploading what the president is doing. That will be next. Yeah, so thank you for being here. Let's also hear from you. Tell us, what do you think about this? Do you see opportunities unfolding from these tariffs? And change is always hard, but we are here to adapt to change. That's why we are human beings. We have that conditionment power, ability to do things. So stay tuned for more.